I probably should not be where I'm at right now. Trust me, guys, I should not be here because my mother, right, came to the United States about 15, 20 years ago. And when she came to the United States, she came here as a maid to take care of someone's daughter. So she came in actually like a nanny, a maid, however way you might call it, right? And then, she probably had about $2, $3 to her name when she moved from, this man's place that she used to live with and then living by herself because she didn't have the money. She didn't go to school. She was not able to finish school, that type of thing, right? So I shouldn't be where I'm at right now. So I'm going to give you a backstory of my life before I come into, the topic for today, okay? So back then when I used to live in Atlanta, right, what happened was I used to go to school when I was in high school. I would go to school. When I'm done with school, I'll go to work, right? So my manager, who I used to work with at Ross, because I used to work at Ross back then, my manager that I used to work with at Ross, what he would do is she stated that she would come pick me up from home because I lived about 10 minutes drive and about 20, 30 minutes walk, right? She would come pick me up from home and then take me to work so I could work. And then afterwards, she would probably come drop me off, okay? So she did that for about a day or two. So after doing that, she came back and told me that, hey, if I'm going to be doing this all the time for you, then I'll need you to pay me, at least pay for gas. So remember, back then I was getting paid minimum wage, right? And I was working about 3 days a week, that type of thing. So me doing that, at the end of every 2 weeks, I get paid about $300. And she says that she needs to take half of it to make sure that she's able to buy gas to come pick me up, that type of stuff, okay? And I had no choice because I had to do it. So once she does that and she takes out that $150 from it, I get paid about, let's say about $320. She takes away $150 and then I get about $170 a week. Sorry, every 2 weeks, right? A month is about $240. Trust me, at that point in time, it was pretty good for me because that was like 11 years ago, right? But then when that happened, all I had to do is when the money comes in, I give it back to my mother, stating that, hey, this is my support for you, for the family, use it for whatever you have to do with it, that type of stuff, okay? So kind of like a backstory as to how I started and got to where I am today with the topic on what I changed to build wealth, right? So one thing, that mindset that I got, the first thing is that it is statistically proven that every millionaire or every billionaire in this world has about seven streams of income, right? So literally they have seven streams of income that makes them money. So as I was growing up and learning about how, financial freedom, how to make money, that type of stuff, I got to that understanding that I need to make sure that I have several streams of income that I'm going to make money from. If I'm not doing that, then I'm not making money. Does that make sense? Because you can't have one stream of income and expect to make money every single time. It does not work that way in life. Like, it does not work that way. You'll be making money. You would probably be using all that to pay bills and doing whatever you have to do. But then you would not be financially free. You will be going from paycheck to paycheck. You have folks that are making six figures that are still living from paycheck to paycheck. So that's kind of like a backstory of that. So now let me get into what some of the stuff that I changed to make sure that I get better at to what I do. One thing that I changed was to actually invest a lot, right? And the investment was not just any sort of like investment that I wanted to do. I invested in the fact that I started selling stuff that I didn't even know about, stuff that I had no idea about. So either I would work two jobs to make sure that I'm actually getting some money that I can put on the side to make sure that I'm saving enough to be able to put out there and use it to invest into other stuff. When it came to real estate, not real estate here in America, because at that point in time, I didn't have the money, right? We're kind of like transcending or trajecting into where I am right now. So at that point in time, I didn't have money to reinvest in real estate here in America. But back home, I was able to do that, right? Because the cost of living was very low, and from the dollar to the exchange rate back home, it was actually a lot more. So I was able to invest into a couple of real estates on there. So remember, that was making me money from there until I grew up and decided to invest into other stuff like stocks. And even with stocks, though I invest into stocks, I'm not really into it as much because I feel like I'm not really making money as much from it. Some people are making money from it, which kudos to you guys, man. Like I said in my other videos, that stuff that I do not understand, I do not invest in. So the other stuff that I actually did on here to make sure that I become wealthy was the fact that I invest into other stuff as well. So especially in the 401k. I invest into 401k not because I'm going to do that for retirement. No, I invest into 401k because I want to meet the match from my company. So once I hit that match, and I can actually take a loan from myself and then pay myself back. Does that make sense? So let's say if you're investing into 401k, if you do not know that you could do that, you could actually take a loan one time in a year, which is where my 401k company, the company that's actually handling that, this is where they come in, right? It's once a year. So let's say I take a loan about $20,000 and I utilize that loan to buy or do a down payment for a property. Once I do that, then the money that I'm making from that property, I use that to pay myself. So literally paying that 401k off with the investment or rental property that I actually put in place. Does that make sense? So I borrow money from 401k, use that to do a down payment, that down payment that I got on the house, I rent that house out, whatever money that I'm making from it, I pay that 401k and then save the rest that I have, okay? So that's kind of like that trajectory of things. So that is what I'm doing to make sure that I'm making some money on the side, because at the end of the day, I can sell that house and still make money from it. So let me read you something that I actually learned from here from Bill Gates. Bill Gates stated that if you were born poor, it is not your mistake, but if you die poor, it is your mistake. So if you're born into that family where you are actually poor, or your family is poor, or your family is not rich, wealthy, that type of stuff, then it is not your mistake. It is not your fault that you were born into that family. But if you actually die poor, then that's on you, because you have a lot of options here, especially if you're in America. You have a lot of options, or if you're in the first world countries, you have a lot of options as to not be poor, right? You have a lot of resources as to how you can make money on the side. Remember, I have a lot of videos out there on how you can make money through CPA Grip, how you can make money through transcribing, how you can make money through several ways and means of making side hustles in my videos out there. I'll link some of them up here so you guys can follow that as well and make some money on the side, because I have. That is why I'm showing you, and I have proof to show that, okay? And one other quote that I got from Warren Buffett was the fact that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So that is from Warren Buffett. So if you do not find ways to make money while you sleep, trust me, like he said, you will work till you die. And that is very true. There's a lot of people who state that they have retired, but they've not actually technically retired. If you're retired, you should not be working these 9-to-5 jobs or these menial jobs. You should have enough savings on the side for you to be able to leave off of till, quote unquote, you die or whatever, right? Or travel around the world. But a lot of people who talk about the fact that they are retired, they're 65, they're 70, and they're still working because they have to live off of something, right? They were not able to have some financial decisions or set into stone some financial decisions that they can actually put in place to make money from. So if you do not do that, guys, it's gonna go ahead and actually affect you a lot. So some of the things that I did to make sure that I was building wealth was to be able to invest into real estate, because in as much as we're in the inflation right now where prices are high, it's a seller's market, not a buyer's market, I will still purchase them, and then at the end of the day, I can refinance, make money from it, and then rent it out, that type of thing. So you would really make money from that. Guys, I need you to research on some of the stuff that you could do as yourself on your own to make sure that you can make some money on the side, because side hustles are very, very important. Like I stated earlier, statistically, billionaires and millionaires in this world literally have about 7 streams of income that comes into their pocket every single time, and they make money while they sleep. Wouldn't you want to make money while you sleep? I do hope so that you would want to do that, because I want to make money while I sleep. That is why I have these investment properties that I actually work on as well. So I need you guys to actually focus on that and make money as well, okay? Till I see you again, I do hope that I gave you some great gems on here. Please follow these tips and you will be financially free. Till I see you again, like this video, subscribe, share with your mother, brother, sister, uncle, whoever, so they can actually take gems from this as well. Till I see you again, peace.